Cinema Shogun here, and if you all have been looking into this whole Carlee Russell situation, then chances are you have found that some of the details surrounding this case are questionable, to say the least. Because look, let's just be honest, a lot of the details in this case just do not line up. The story that we are hearing, it just does not add up. For one, what about the baby? It seems as if they want us to forget that a baby was involved in this story. There has been no Amber Alert put out for this missing child. There's no missing children reports in the area that would align with Carlee's story. There's no search for the child. Law enforcement does not seem to be even in the slightest bit interested in locating this child. And on the other hand, what about those responsible for doing this to Carlee? There's no search for the abductors. At the time of this recording, law enforcement has not let the public know that there may be a threat to the public. There's no BOLO. There's no description of the suspects. There's no description of a vehicle. There's basically no mention of anything about abductors at all, almost as if Carlee wasn't abducted at all. And you know, at this point, one of two things needs to happen. Either law enforcement needs to cut the crap and let the general public know that there are kidnappers on the loose using a baby as bait to lure women in. Either law enforcement needs to let the public know that, or Carlee or Carlee's family needs to step forward, go ahead and rip that Band-Aid off, and let people know that this story did not go down in the way we thought it did. But it doesn't seem as if Carlee's family is interested in doing that. In fact, Carlee's family has now doubled down. They did an interview today, and they claim that there is an abductor on the loose. Now look, we know that Carlee's family has been asking for privacy. But one thing you should never do after asking for privacy is go on television and do an interview, where it's going to be seen by millions of people. You can't have your cake and eat it too. And we could sit here and debate whether, they should have done it or not. But at the end of the day, the internet's going to react the way the internet's going to react. It doesn't matter if we think it's right or if we think it's wrong. If people are out here asking for privacy and then they go on the mainstream media and do interviews, people are going to have questions. And now, instead of smoothing this situation over, instead of giving some closure to where everyone could kind of start moving on, including Carlee, it seems as if they are doubling down on this story about Carlee being abducted. Yet law enforcement is out here not saying anything. And the people of Hoover, Alabama deserve to know if there are suspects on the loose. I don't have to have all of my questions answered. And law enforcement does not need to reveal all of the details about their investigation. But just a quick statement letting people know if they should be worried about, these kidnappers on the loose or not. That would suffice, but we are not getting that. Meanwhile, after asking for privacy, Carlee's family is out here getting a lot of attention on the news while doubling down on the story that Carlee was abducted. I want to go ahead and roll this news clip. While you're watching it, hit a thumbs up, hit that thumbs up button. Let me know your thoughts about what they say in the comments as they speak. And then, of course, after the clip, you already know I'm going to be back with some more thoughts because I have a lot of them.
Priscilla Thompson spoke with them. She joins us now. Hey, Priscilla, good morning.
Hoda, good morning. As questions around this case intensify, the family is urging the public not to speculate, saying that it's upsetting to Carlee, and right now their focus is on her physical and mental well-being. That moment you all first laid eyes on her again, what was it like?
To me, just so much joy. And
This morning, in an exclusive sit-down with NBC News, the parents of 25-year-old Carlee Russell are speaking out, describing the moment their daughter appeared on their doorstep after being missing for more than 48 hours. What did you do when you saw her?
we tried to hug her as best we could, but I had to stand back because she was not in a good state. So we had to stand back and let medical professionals work with her. But it's okay.
Last Thursday, police say Carlee called 911 to report a toddler walking alone on the interstate. She pulled over while on the phone with a family member who described hearing Carlee scream.
Her vehicle's unlocked, running, all her personal belongings except for her phone.
On the scene, police found no sign of Carlee or a child, and they say no children were reported as missing during that time period. The Russells waited in agony until Saturday night.
There were actually just so many calls and texts from people who maliciously lied to us. I just didn't know people could be so evil.
Authorities have not indicated where Carlee was during the 48 hours she was missing or what happened. Her parents declined to share what their daughter told them, citing the ongoing investigation. And can you tell me what happened Saturday night? Did you just get a knock at the door?
Anything leading to the case itself, we can't discuss that.
But they say speculation about the circumstances surrounding Carlee's disappearance are only making things worse.
She's having to deal with the trauma of people just making completely false allegations about her.
Her family now urging the public to let the investigation play out, but mentioning an abductor. Her mother asking to read a brief message to the public.
Carlee has given detectives her statement so that they can continue to pursue her abductor.
Do you believe that there's an abductor still out there?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
NBC News has reached out to the Hoover Police Department to ask whether they're looking for an individual involved. Police have just said they're following up on all information provided by Carlee. And when I talked to you all on Saturday, you also said your daughter is a fighter and she would find a way back to you.
I felt that in my heart.
Is that what happened?
She did. She found her way back to us. However, we can't discuss the details of that.
But they say one thing is clear. Do you believe she was fighting for her life?
Oh, she definitely fought for her life. There were moments when she physically had to fight for her life, and there were moments when she had to mentally fight for her life.
But she made it back to you.
She made it back.
Yeah, she did make it back. All right, Priscilla, so investigators are obviously busy on this case. What are they looking into going forward?
Yeah, Hoda, right now they're analyzing that initial 911 call and also that traffic cam video showing that car driving on the interstate very slowly with its flashers on, believed to be Carlee's car. And of course, they're looking at the evidence from the crime scene, including the car and her cell phone, which was found on the roadway nearby. Police say that they have been able to account for all of her steps leading up to her disappearance, but those 48 hours when she was gone still remain a mystery. Hoda?
So, as you can see, no mention of the child. I guess it's just F that kid, right? In fact, if the Michael Jordan F them kids meme was a true crime case, this would be the case. Because we're basically being told, hey, F that kid. Forget about that child. All that matters is that Carlee is safe. And yes, I am so glad that Carlee is safe. Regardless if this is the truth or if this is all a hoax or what it is, I am glad that she is safe. But let's not just sit here and be like, oh, thank God Carlee's safe. Nothing to see here, folks. As if there was not an innocent child involved in this story that supposedly Carlee felt so strongly about that she risked her life to try to save. I would think that if Carlee really went through all of this effort to save a child, that she, just like all of us, would want answers about what happened to this kid. But no mention of the kid at all. Just don't worry about the kid at all. Now, like I was saying earlier, You know, Carlee's family, they're asking for privacy, and I understand that. But you cannot ask for privacy and then go on the news doing these big interviews. You can't expect privacy while putting yourself out there on a national platform. And I'm going to just be 100% honest here. If this is a lie, if this is a hoax, and ladies and gentlemen, we don't know. I want to make myself clear. We do not know for a fact what happened here yet. There is a huge possibility that something happened to Carlee still. But the details and the evidence that we have so far, it's not lining up. So, if this is all some type of lie, they need to go ahead, rip that Band-Aid off, and let it be known now. Because the reality is, regardless if you like it or not, it doesn't matter how you feel about it, we know how the general public and the internet is going to react. So it's not because this is how I feel or how you feel, this is what's going to happen. If this story continues to drag out, more and more people are going to get invested. More and more theories and conspiracies are going to be spread. More and more is going to start surrounding this story, and more people are going to start paying attention, and more people are going to be upset if it comes out that all of this is fake. I can tell you right now that if it was already revealed that this story was fake, I would have already moved on with my life and I would be covering other stories. But if I have to sit here and cover this story for days on end, only for it to turn out that this was all fake, then I'm going to be a little bit more upset than I would have been if the truth came out sooner. So the reality is, the longer this drags out, the worse this situation is going to get. The crazier the conspiracies and theories are going to get. The more and more people are going to, become aware of this case, and more people are going to have opinions, and more people are going to freaking rage out and, act how the internet acts if it comes out that this is fake. So it's honestly in everyone's best interest to go ahead and reveal the truth about what happened here. And if that, if it's up to Carlee and Carlee's family to reveal the truth, or law enforcement to reveal the truth, something needs to be done here before things get worse. Because things are 100% going to get worse the longer this situation drags out. And nobody wants that. Nobody needs that. And I can tell you right now, personally, I don't appreciate when my time is wasted. And when I'm sitting here making content about a story, when I could be making content about other stories that actually are real, if this one is fake. But once again, we don't know that yet. And I'm looking at this interview, and I don't know if you all noticed, but if you pay attention to the father's body language, he is looking down and away the entire time. He does not make eye contact with the reporter or the camera, almost as if he is not confident about what his wife is saying right next to him, almost as if he is not confident about this story. But if they truly are, and for those of you all who are confident that something happened here, you all should be demanding justice. You all should be asking, hey, how come there's not a bigger effort being put forward to find those responsible for this situation? But they came to do this interview, and then they kind of refused to give any details due to the investigation, but they are sure to say that there is an abductor out there. So, like I said at the beginning of this video, there's just one of two things that needs to happen here. Police need to let us know if there's a threat to the public, or the family needs to let us know that, maybe this whole situation didn't go down in the way we think, and let's go ahead and just get it over with. As someone that covers cases like this pretty often, I always find that in these true crime cases, The lack of transparency always leads to a lot of speculation, which just adds fuel to all of these wild rumors that people create. Like last night, I saw this rumor that is spreading around that a man with orange hair kidnapped Carlee and drove her around in his 18-wheeler for 2 days while feeding her Cheez-Its and painting her nails. I saw that theory and I literally cried laughing last night because some people are just wild. They see cases like this and they take the time out of their day to sit down and create fake text messages, fake social media accounts, all of that stuff. There's a lot of crazy people in this world. But yeah, they're talking about Carlee was being held for 48 hours, being fed Cheez-Its and getting her nails painted by her orange-haired abductor. So in order to kind of squash a lot of the rumors and speculation, in order to squash that, the only thing you can do is kind of release the truth. But no one seems to be interested in releasing the full details about what happened here. So I'm going to continue watching this play out. I'll be back to talk about it some more soon. Let me know your thoughts about all of this down in the comments. While you're down there, hit the thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and watch out for midget kidnappers.